המחשבות לא נותנים לי ללכת, כבר עברו שנים רבות ואני עוד משותקת. עננים של מלחמה מכסים את תל אביב, וכמו ילדה קטנה מה נותר רק להקשיב. לא נחים לרגע, כל הכוכבים נעלמו לפתע, צלליות של אנשים נשמעים ברקע וכולם מאושרים, זו רק אני שמתה. גשם יורד לכל
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, just a quick wrap up for everybody on Facebook. You just saw the video, right? I'm here in the studio with Naama. She's a singer, songwriter, performer, has just released some of her very own songs, right?
An EP, yeah.
You've just seen
the first single
video. Right.
That was the first single.
That was the first single?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
The debut single.
The debut single?
Yeah.
How did that come together? How did it happen?
The album?
Yes.
it happened kind of suddenly. I didn't prepare for it. I was studying in the academy. It was my last year of the master, and then I decided I don't want to teach anymore. I want to do music. And then I started like to spread around my songs, and a lot of producers wanted to do the album. And after I met a few of them, I met Daniel Salomon, the musician, and it was a perfect click. And then we started to work.
Ah, cool. So
Yeah.
in the academy, give us a little bit of your backstory. What academy are you a teacher, or maybe we start a little earlier? Let's start earlier.
Let's start in the beginning.
Let's start from the beginning.
I studied my first degree in the academy, Jerusalem Academy of Music.
Are you from Jerusalem?
No, I'm originally from Netanya. It's like way back. I moved to Tel Aviv when I was very young, about 22. And then I started to study in Jerusalem, about 25, something like that. I made my first degree there and my second one. In the middle, I came back to Tel Aviv, performed with orchestra, event, stuff like that. And then I decided I want to do my own music. And when I decided, it just happened, something like that. Yeah.
It just happened.
When you decide something, it happens, yeah.
Yeah. So you studied, like at what age did you know that you would be making music?
Wow. I think I always knew that I want to do something of music, or it started with dancing. I danced before. And then I decided I want to be a singer, but it wasn't really okay with my family. But so I just carried on, and then I decided if I want to be a musician, so I'm going to be a musician. I studied private, like chords and everything, to read notes, to play a little bit, and then I accepted to the Jerusalem Academy. And then...
What do you mean it wasn't really okay with your family?
Well, I think they wanted me to be something else than a musician.
Why do you think that is?
They told me so. That's the first clue. And then the second one, I don't know. I really think they thought I'm going to be like some lawyer or a doctor or something like more fancy than a musician. But I think musician is very fancy.
I don't know.
Fancy career.
I don't know, like whatever.
When I had to go with what I wanted, I guess. So.
Yeah. Well, eventually you can only do good. You can do well what you can do well. So.
Yeah. Well, I want to do something that I would love to do all my life. So that was music.
Yeah.
We started. I was about 22 when I first started to sing, so it's not that long ago.
And did you ever did you start from zero, or did you learn an instrument or singing as a kid?
No, I started from zero. I started from zero for 2 years, prepared, and then I was accepted after 2 years only to the degree of music. It's a performance degree. It's called Rav Trumit. It's like a rock, pop, something like that, singer-songwriter. I was accepted there, and in the 4th year, that was the end, I started my master degree. I was there 6 years, something like that.
So you got a master's in music and performance or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you taught music as well?
Yes, and the academy, you can learn also to be a music teacher. That's another degree that you can do, and I did it. And I was a music teacher. It was nice, but it wasn't my passion. I mean, I love the children, but when you perform, it's a different thing. I mean, it's different energy, it's different life, it's different everything, and you really have to be prepared to make that choice. If you are a musician and you're performing, or you can teach. I couldn't find to do both of them together, so I chose to be a performer. But maybe other people can, I don't know.
And do you, so when you were teaching, did you already start making a living out of music, or how did it happen?
I always written down my song and I composed everything. I always did that anyway, but I perform only like in covers and cover band, something like that. More, it was more fun than doing music. You mean like you sing your heart out and people just eating in front of your face. It was difficult for me, so I just put it aside for now. It's always fun to make music, but to make your own music, it's different. It's like every night your heart is out, and it's amazing. I mean,
So on your, you brought also something, right? Maybe you just show it to us real quick.
yes, that's my debut album.
Good. I want to show that here too. Wait, let me see how I can do that. I just want everybody to see that. That is, whoops, Naama Tamari. And what's the album called?
חלומות של אתמול.
חלומות של אתמול. It's like Dreams of Yesterday.
Yep.
Right? Alright, so Dreams of Yesterday. Naama Tamari, חלומות של אתמול. Check it out.
On Spotify and iTunes. I had to do that.
Yeah, no, that's alright. Why not? People want to know. On Spotify, iTunes, and yeah, so how did that happen? You met this guy and you wanted to work, and then all of a sudden I'm sure
you want the
there was a lot
whole
of energy of yours go
it's
into
like it's a long story. I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter. I wanted to do a different song at all. It's not in this album.
Oh, okay.
For like a comic thing that we wanted to do, that I wrote it on Tinder, and then we decided, my friend and I decided that if we are recording it, then we put more songs into the album, because if we're already gonna pay for it, so we're gonna do more than one song. And then we started to drift to the other songs, and then I decided it was not good enough and I want something different. I had it in my mind how it's supposed to be, but I couldn't explain it to anyone until I met Daniel, and he already knew how it's gonna be, and it was the same thing that I felt it should be. And it's like rock, ethnic, electronic thing. And we worked about it 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a long process, and we released it, and that's it. It was amazing. I recommend to everyone, record your music on anything you want, but the experience is so different and it's so amazing, and you can learn a lot of yourself and on your music while recording. So that's what I think.
So what took 6 months about it? Was like you constantly improved or changed, or and how much of those? I'm sure you didn't spend 6 months in the studio, right?
Well, we kind of did, but first we have to decide which songs are gonna be in the album. That was a long process itself. We met about once a week, two times a week. We didn't want to rush it. We wanted to do it that I will be complete with the decision and everything, and then we have to change some lyrics, to change some harmonic there, and then we work about this. We work each song like a few weeks. We recorded it and everything, and then the last month it was the players that came with us, and then we had to mix it up and everything. So that also took like a month to do the mix and everything. So yeah, 6 months, something like that. It's not that long, I think. I don't know.
I have absolutely no idea. But your producers and stuff, they would know, right?
I think they do. Usually it takes about 3 to 6 months. It can be less than 3, depending on how long are the songs. And this is a fancy producing. I mean, you can hear it, but there is a lot of things going on there. So you want to do it just right. So 6 months, yeah.
And so why are exactly, what are the 4 songs on, it's 4 songs, right?
Yes, it's.
What are they called and why are they on it?
What the first one called Geshem, and you want me to do it also in English? No, it's the name.
No, just Geshem means rain.
Yeah, so you can do the English part. Geshem, and the other one called חלומות של אתמול. That's the name of the album also. And there is another song called Nishbati. And the last one called Galeli. They're all connected. I mean, 3 of them are connected. They are all on the same people. That's why I think we put it on the same album, because it's the story continues. I mean, Nishbati was the first, and then Geshem, and then חלומות של אתמול. Actually, I wrote it while we're producing the album. It's the newest song. I mean, we just put it in because we felt it was the best thing that I could say about what I feel. So we put it in the end.
Do you want to enlighten us a little bit? So it's basically, I mean, from what it sounds like it's a story with parts.
It's on my story with different chapters in my life. I mean, they all circle around the same topic, but it's on me and how I feel and loneliness and being hurt and stuff like this, and I mean relationships and everything, and just how it goes from different time to a different time. I mean, every one of them actually was written in a different city, so it's kind of interesting. I never thought about it until now. So.
Cool. So what are the cities?
We have Tel Aviv, of course. We have Jerusalem. We have Netanya. I mean, where I drift around, that's where I do my music everywhere. But sometimes it's depend where you're staying and how the specific place is doing something for you. I mean, I love Tel Aviv. I mean, but Jerusalem, it was a big part of my life, and a lot of things happened there, for better and for worse, but it made a great music. So that was part of the process, I think. I don't know.
So tell us a little bit about the different stages and what they mean to you, and yeah.
Different,
like the different cities and you know how they connect to the songs and what the meanings of the songs are. Like a little, give us a little bit.
No problem. You can. The thing in my songs that when you hear them, you understand the whole story. So it's like not trying to say something else or being sophisticated. It's just what it is. I mean, the first song, Geshem, I wrote it on the way back from school when suddenly something from my past just popped out. I was unprepared. And I remember I was driving back home and it was pouring rain on my car and I literally couldn't see anything on the road so I can go home from the storms. And I was overthinking, I guess, and I just went home and composed it all night. And it was done in the morning. That was Geshem, yeah.
Wow. So Geshem was written in one night, and you're driving through the rain.
Yes, from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv. Very storm inside and out. I mean, it was pouring rain. And I don't know, sometimes you think you leave something in the past, but it come back when you aren't prepared to hear about it. And I don't know, I think it kind of shook me up and we made a great song about it.
So what was it do you want to go into details more? Or is
I don't think we need to go to detail because sometimes when you write a song, it doesn't matter of the person you wrote it on. It's the feeling, what you felt in that moment. That's what lasts on, because people come and go, and you know, you meet new people, you put people in your past, but it doesn't matter because the feeling, it's the same feeling. I mean, you can remember how you felt. That's what I think. So if I felt confused and, I don't know, kind of shook up and kind of sad, that's the feeling. It doesn't matter who I wrote about. And I put it all into music. It's like the best thing, I think.
So you felt confused.
Yeah. And more things, I don't know. But
you felt a whole bunch of stuff, and
yeah,
it
it
all
was.
went into the song,
Yes.
and you're happy with it, and it kind of expresses whatever you wanted to express.
Yes, what I was feeling in that same moment, and that's why it's always so easy to for me anyway. When I perform this song, I always can remember how I felt at that moment, so I can put it out. So every time I perform it live, it sounds different, because the feeling is always kind of changing. You have like the basic thing, but because it's so real and it's so authentic for me, so every time I perform it, it's like I wrote it all over again.
So that's Gesher.
Yeah.
Right? And so what is, give us the next one.
It's the second single. Like I don't know the song by heart, I'm looking at it. חלומות של אתמול, I wrote it in, as I said before, during the recording of the album. You need to hear it, I think. You should hear it before I talk about it. But it's about, I think, sometimes people can feel, well, it's on me, but other people too, feel a little bit different or left out or not doing the same thing that everybody does. And it's sometimes with a price. I mean, the dream that you want and can have a price on it on the morning. That's what I meant. I meant there is a line that I said that I will say it in Hebrew, but it's חלומות של אתמול הם סיוט של בוקר. That means that the dream that you fantasize at night and then you wake up to reality, sometimes it's a little bit harder. So this is the song, like in a 3-2 sentence, I think. The next one, I don't know.
Yeah, go through it.
Go through all the album.
Like to me, I don't know how it is for you guys, but to me it's very interesting because it's very personal, you know.
It's a very personal album. I mean, it's like a diary, but with music. I mean, Nishbati, it's the oldest song. I think it's one of my first that I ever wrote. I wrote it like, I think my second year in the academy. It's a bit about my family and things that happened there. I mean, I don't want to spoil, I don't want to spoil alert on the song, but it's about me as a child, me and my parents, and what happened when you meet someone and all your fears come true. That's the song I think it's about. And the other one, it's like, it's not a memory, it's a request. I mean, I'm talking what I want from someone. I mean, that's like, it's a bit different.
So
but
the last song is a little different. It's more like
not what happened to me or a story. It's more
like a wish.
A wish that for me, what I want. But it's all one story because I'm telling what happened until now and what I'm asking from now on.
So who are you asking from? The universe?
The universe, from a person, I don't know.
Did you write it with a specific person in mind, or you just...
Every song here, it's with a specific person in mind. Yes, Geshem and Benishbati, they are really on the same person, but with like 6 years apart. So it's kind of interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, and Galeli, it's like it's called. Usually, I wrote Galeli in English. I also compose sometime in English, but it's called Don't. I mean, I say there in English, don't promise me that and don't give me that, and I don't need that. I need something else. I need like security, and we translate into Hebrew. That now it's Galeli. I'm asking him like to show me how to do something that I can do. I mean, without being scared all the time. And that's, I don't know. I love this song. It's like more optimistic, I think, with like a request and hope for something, not telling something that happened to me. That's all the songs. You can ask more questions. I'm just talking and talking.
Well, no, that's fantastic. So basically, here's the album. I'll just show it again because not everybody was here from the very beginning. This is Naama Tamari, Halomot Shelet Mod. It's on Spotify,
And
iTunes.
iTunes. I also have, of course, Facebook and Instagram page and all the updates on the shows and everything.
It's a super personal thing. It has 4 songs. It's all in Hebrew.
Yeah, all in Hebrew.
Yeah, if you wonder what they're about, watch the replay. So, and this is this your first album that you ever released?
Yes, it's my debut album.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
And no, Engagement was the debut single. And yes, it was a very first time project. That's why it was so important. Was everything was the first time that I did, the first time I recorded, the first time I debuted show for it, and and everything, and you have to put it on Spotify, and you have to put everything is okay here. And I learned a lot from it, what I need to do. So it's not just music, it's a lot of things when you put out an album. So
interesting.
yeah.
Actually, for people that might be watching, there might be musicians, or
Yeah.
they might be not as far, in their way. I mean, for you, it seems like you studied music, you were a teacher, you just out of the blue, more or less, like by accident, went into making.
Not an accident. It was very formed decision.
Okay.
I learned how to be a singer when I was studying. So all I had to do was perform. But when I studied, there was no singing songwriter. So all my material was never published, was never performed. Maybe once or twice in like an evening of young musician that they had there. It's all in the same time. I mean, when I was doing the master, I was already a teacher, and I mean, and I remember in my last year of the master, it was also when I was the last year I taught, I decided that okay, we finished with school and now we're gonna do the real thing. We're gonna make music now, not just teach it or gonna learn about it. We're gonna do the real thing.
I'm sorry.
Why? People get sick, it's okay.
All right. So yeah, no, I meant more like in terms of the releasing the album, because the way you tell it, it wasn't really like intended so much. How much do you have? Lots of songs that you've written?
I do have a lot of songs. It was very hard decision. We chose about from 40 songs, just 4. I mean, it was like very picking thing.
Why 4? Why not 10? Why not, like...
Well, 10 to do a full album, you have like, it costs a lot of money, put at the side, and it was my beginning. I want to do it slowly and to see what's going on, and to be complete with my decision. I mean, I thought if I will do like 10 songs, I'll get all over the place. I mean, and I want like to do like to be very focused on what I want and what I thought it should be. I mean, and it was a specific sound of it, um, and I want to do it right. I mean, so, I mean, I didn't want to do a lot of songs. I just want to do the right songs. So
Cool. And then in terms of somebody who, did you before you made this album, did you have any like show, like stuff to show, like recordings and stuff? I don't know, because a lot of people give them to others so that maybe they get.
I did because a year before, not a year before, like 2 years before, I had a recital. That's like the end of the first degree. You put on a full-time show, and it was I sent some videos from there. They're also on my YouTube channel still. There were like covers that I did in my special way, and I send them, and I also can play, so I record like rough version of the song and send it to the producers when we started. I mean, they all wanted to hear more of the song. The only song that I sent to all the producers was Geshem.
And why is that? Why did you send Geshem to all of them?
I liked them, yeah, I think, yes. And it was their favorite too, so I guess that works.
How many producers did you send it to?
Until I made my decision. I met with 3. I talked with 10, I think, maybe more. Something like that.
That's actually not so much. I mean,
I don't know, it was my first time. I don't know, it was...
I have no idea how that goes at all. I've never produced any songs, but...
well...
I'm just meaning in terms of everyday experience. Like you talk to
I think
people,
it's depend. There's people like when they meet the first person, that's the producers they take. Other people can work with 20. I don't know. I think I'm something in the middle. That when I knew I wanted Danielle, I knew it like on the spot. I mean, after 10 minutes of talking, I think you know this thing right away. It's like a relationship, you know it right away, if it's good or if it's not. I mean, working so closely, like 6 months, you have to do it with the right person. If that makes any sense.
That makes total sense.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's touching everything in your heart. I mean, you have to be someone very sensitive and very patient. I mean, you don't... Maybe the musician who is watching us, that when people want to change a word in your song, it's hard for you. I mean, you don't let it go so easily. So you have to do it in the right way with some kind of sensitivity. So the mission for both of you is that the song will be the best version of itself. So you have to do it with the one that believes in your music and in you and can connect with you as well. So I think it's very hard to find someone. That's why I took my time with it. I mean, we started to talk about the album about December, and I started to recording on June. I mean, it took a little while for me to make my decision. Well, until I met the right person. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then how did you get it? Because I saw one of or you said also one of the videos has like a lot of views, right? So how did you do anything to get views? Did you share? Did you promote? Did you do advertising on it? Do you have a partner to help you with it? Like what's
not a partner, but all of the others was correct. Viewers, well, you have to put yourself on the media a lot. I mean, social media and everything. luckily for me, I was very satisfied with what happened. I was very completed with it, and I had no problem to sell it to other people. I knew that it was good. Well, in my opinion, of course. And then, well, on Facebook, it's pretty easy because friends share it, and I don't know, it started like to blow up on YouTube. You can do like an advertising of it, and you share it, and I mean, I send message to every people I know in the world. This is my new video, check it out. If you like it,
Like,
share
you actually
it.
text it down? Or,
Yeah, one by one. I don't believe like in there is like a thing that you can send a message and then it's like sending to all the people on your phone. Sometimes I do it, yeah, sometimes. But if I want to do it personal, then I one by one. They're all my friends in one way or another. I know them all, and I talk to them. It's another way to check up on them. And then, by the way, this is my new single, new album. Come to the show and everything. And I think it's important to keep in touch with the people that follow you, even if they're the friends. But not all of them are started as my friends. Sometimes started as like fans from Instagram, and then we started to talk, and then they're following me now on my shows and everything. That's pretty cool. You have to keep in touch. It's like it's a relationship with all of them. It's kind of nice.
So do you spend a lot of time talking with your fans and of, I mean, they're kind of fans, right?
I don't know if they're fans, but they're very nice people who come to the show and listen to the music. So I try. I mean, if people sending me a message about music, I think they should have like a proper answer, and they deserve it, you know. So it's all about communication and like be open and part of them. So I recommend it to everybody. Be nice to the people that hear your music.
Sorry.
It's okay. Did they see you?
No, but they definitely heard me now. Yeah, so I got a little cold, you know, but that's not that interesting. Okay, so you mentioned that you said, I think your parents didn't like, or your family didn't like you becoming a musician, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was that hard for you to do it anyways? Or was it not that big of a deal?
Well, I think every child wants their parents to support what they're doing. So I can't say it wasn't a big deal. It came with a price. I mean, there was time that we didn't get along so well. But I didn't have any choice. I mean, when I didn't do music, I felt like I'm not doing anything. I mean, I was just like by the side of the life. I mean, when I started to do music, then I realized that that's what gave me passion and gave me to breathe and everything. And I had to make a choice what I want for myself or what I want to be okay with other people. And I chose myself. And my father, very, very fast, came around and he was one of my biggest supporters. I mean, come to every show. He buys more tickets than he needs to the show. I mean, he's one and he buys like 10 tickets. I don't know, something like that. And sometimes the support that you get doesn't have to come from your parents. I have a lot of friends. I have my sister is amazing, and like she's the person that support me on everything from booking to produce the show. I mean, there is a lot of production of doing a show on live, and so I'm okay.
That's good. That's very nice to hear. Well, also, I kind of feel like, I don't know, you can tell me if that's true for you. If you don't do, you know, what is authentic from you, then it's also not. It's not only that that you have to do what that you choose between you and what others think. It's also if you try to do something which you think that others would appreciate, they don't really appreciate that. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't like people that are not true with themselves, and like people don't.
People are very smart. If
Yeah.
they think that this is not real and it's not authentic and it's fake, they won't pay any time for it. I mean, people are smart. They know what when the things that they hear are really something, or if like for fun and everything. I mean, music for fun it's okay,
Sure.
but it's two different things. I mean, it can be like two of them. I don't know. Maybe it can, but even if it's music for fun and the text is really genuine, then you can feel it. I think. I mean, even Britney Spears sometimes has like songs that when you really listen to the words, you can really think that something was going on there, something like that. So I really believe in the words. I mean, more than anything. So.
So would you say you're like the writer first and singer second, or?
I don't know now. I mean, I started as a singer, but now I'm like a songwriter more than a singer, and sometimes in this I do both. I think for me it's only one. I mean, I write and I compose my thoughts, and then I perform them. So it's like all things together. I can't really choose one or more. I do give one of my songs to other musicians, but the best one I keep for me. So.
So you did give some songs to others too?
Yeah, why not? I mean, if I can feel that they can tell the story as well as I can, or if I believe in their music, why not? I mean, it's still my song, so it doesn't matter. But there is specific song that I prefer to do it on my own. So it's depend on the song, what I wrote it about, and sometimes I take even like random text of like poetry, and then I can compose them, and then I can give it away, something like that. So I told you I'm all about the text, and then I do the composing. I mean, first I write, or I choose like the text that I want to do music on it because I believe in what they are saying, or I can feel something, or it's moving me, and then I do the composing, and then we'll see what's going on after that. I mean, not all of them are published. I mean, there is a lot of songs, so maybe next time, next album, next show. In the show, I mean, this is only four songs, but in the live shows with the band, we have 12 songs. I mean, that's a lot of songs that are all produced and written for computers and a full rhythm section, and we perform all the songs that was chosen for the show. So every time I add new songs to the.
So if people would want to see the show, how can they see the show?
Well, I publish everything on Facebook, on Instagram.
It's Naama Tamari. Also, we'll edit all the descriptions.
And the show, and we had like the last show was on the early of this month. So no, we are in December now already, right? So it was like the beginning of November, but close enough. And I advertise all the shows and I send the links, and sometimes, well, the one that are already signed to my newsletter or to the fan page, they get discounts and everything, and it's all up there, publishing and everything. That's it. We have like the acoustic version of everything. It's depend on the show and the time, but we have it all.
And do you, for people that are abroad, maybe do you have also parts of the show in YouTube, or like, can they see it as videos?
Yes, of course. And the debut show, we released 3 videos from it. It's on the YouTube channel, and I think it's also on Facebook. and I released all kind of stuff from there. And I think next week we'll release from the latest show another song that we didn't put out before, because I want all kind of song to be there, not just the same one. Yes, everything is up there. I'm up there. I'll let you finish.
Thank you. So yeah, so there you go. That's it. Naama written her own show, produced the whole thing. 4 of them are on an album.
Produce the show, not
Produced the show.
not the album.
No, this was produced by
Daniel Salomon.
Shout out to
Daniel Salomon. It's a very musician, very talented musician.
Okay, so there you go. Here's my ignorance. You know, I'm an immigrant, so I don't know any of the names. But,
Okay.
I'm sure he's great.
He's amazing.
Yeah, so awesome. Is there anything you like? If you could go back, let's say 10 years, and meet yourself, and you could tell yourself, listen about music, this, and this, what would you tell yourself?
Do it early. I mean, start a little bit early. Don't be so scared.
So basically, start today. So if you're like out there, start
today. I mean, don't be so scared. It's not that horrible when you're already in. I mean, sometimes to be a musician could be so hard when you think about it, because sometimes it's unstable, and it's not like going to a regular job, but it's worth everything. I mean, all the pain and the unknowing and the overthinking, when you're up there, it's erased everything that happened before. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, I think it's true almost everywhere, right? If you want to do something, I mean, like I used to work for 10 years plus with online stuff a lot, and it was okay, it went well, but I just didn't feel that this is what I want to do. So just a month ago I started this show and other projects that are around music and supporting musicians, and it's just so much fun, but I don't know half the stuff I'm doing. I'm just trying to, Instagram has its own phone right now because I can't get the software to work and stuff. But
it's okay, it's on me, it's okay.
No, but we'll figure that out, and you talk to people that know what they're doing. You kind of learn as you go, and at least you're starting something. Right. That's what I mean.
To think what to do doesn't get you anywhere. Exactly. The only way you can learn is to jump right in.
It's all in the doing. Right?
Yeah, so that's the best school.
And that's also, I mean, if I just even look at my first videos, like just 1 month ago, I'm like stuttering, and it's like weird, and I have this TV persona.
Like a different kind of
like
attitude.
It's not me, you know, kind of, I mean, I see it because I know myself, but...
Hopefully now when you'll see this one, you'll say, yeah, I was.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I see it's already getting better and more genuine, and, you know, so, but... well, the music thing, it's something. It was always with me, you know. I mean, I play some guitar. My father used to play guitar, and so we played together. It was a great thing we did together, actually. And I used to learn cello as a kid, and it was always something that I really loved. And I think, like you said, I was like overthinking. I need this, and this category, this degree, this, you know. And you need to make income and all kinds of things. And yeah, of course, people tell you don't do this.
Yes, that's the first thing that they say. Don't. Are you sure?
Yeah.
I can tell that in my family, nobody makes music. I mean, no one. And they were very surprised when I told them I want to be a singer. I mean, where did this come from? They didn't even know. But it just, when you made up your mind and you know that's the thing that you want to do, so you will do everything to make it happen. So that you just have to do something to start. I mean,
I think this is a fantastic way to end this, actually, you know. So basically, the big takeaway from Naama Tamari is start right now.
Yeah, לגמרי, מה ש...
Yeah, perfect. Listen, I just want to say one more thing or two. I have this new thing that is coming up. If everybody, wait, I just want to show this also, because it's kind of the same thing that you said. This is the play more music. This a veteran friend of mine gave to me. It's like a traditional thing they do. And it started the Wall of Fame. Now, I want to add every guest that is coming
to the Wall of Fame?
To the Wall of Fame. So I have a frame for you. So this one, was the interview I did yesterday with Jonathan Williams. So that's gonna go up here. And then
they don't see it. The
Instagram follow button. So basically, here's going to be the Wall of Fame, and there will be tons of pictures of everybody who was here, and
including me.
Including you. So I got frames for you. So
wow.
What I want us to do now, maybe print a picture and maybe you can sign it and put
sure.
it on the big Wall of Fame.
The big Wall of Fame.
All right, everybody. So that's it. I guess I hope you enjoyed it. Check out Naama's stuff.
Yes, for the last time for today.
There's a CD. It's on Spotify, iTunes,
and everywhere.
Channel everywhere. We will also put it in the description, and you will hear from it somewhere. We'll have some clips in the next day.
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, there you are. Okay, cool. So I guess as always, play more music, guys. Oh, let's stop that.
Okay. I hope I spoke.
And you guys, I'm going to just show you her video again if you missed it. It's really cool. Is this Geshem?
Yes.
Yeah, Geshem. So enjoy it. That's Geshem.
הפחדים המחשבות לא נותנים לי ללכת כבר עברו שנים רבות ואני עוד משותקת עננים של מלחמה מכסים את תל אביב וכמו ילדה קטנה מה נותר רק להקשיב לא נחים לרגע כל הכוכבים נעלמו לפתע צלליות של אנשים